Thank you for joining us, Rabbi Weinberg. I want to thank both the fantastic panel that we just had, the plenary, and also all of you that have been with us today. If you can't tell, this is really a new thing for us that we're planning on going forward into, really grappling with these pieces of accountability, of teshuvah, restorative justice, what it looks like to have accountability at these intersections. And if it doesn't feel yet like you're getting kind of the bullet points or the links or the how-to step-by-step instructions, it's because they aren't actually created yet. So, folks that have seen, for example, and I will mention what came up around this current election and the allegations against Joe Biden, Trana Burke said, there's a reason why we don't have this figured out yet. We haven't set aside the time and prioritized really figuring out what this looks like. And I also want to name that safety, respect, equity, that really sits on a continuum. And what teshuvah or accountability or restorative justice looks like in that safety bucket in cases of the most egregious abuse is going to be different than what it looks like in the equity bucket. And all that's to say that harm is still being done. We are still doing that harm to each other. And as April Baskin mentioned, regardless of what we do, it doesn't go away. And so the goal is eventually to get to a place where we have built this muscle of really holding these multiple identities of who we are, of understanding that we are constantly making mistakes and needing to call out where we've been harmed and to build that muscle. There was also an interesting comment that I wanted to address, which was a question: does the frame of we all have been harmed and we have all harmed others, is that the same as all lives matter in relationship to Black Lives Matter? No, that's not what we're talking about. All harm is not created equal. It is on a spectrum, and we all do have different responsibilities, different privileges because of the systems of power that we sit in. This is about us really building the muscle and the patience and the persistence with ourselves, with our organizations, and with our colleagues to really get closer to each other in this work. So we're hoping that this is launching what that is, and that's going to take time. That's not going to be next month or a year from now. And we see this as being us plugging in also to a larger movement, a larger number of movements that are really grappling with what accountability looks like at these intersections. So I'm going to introduce my wonderful teacher, Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg, to give you a sense of what's going to happen next. She's going to do a teaching for us for about 10 minutes or so that I have found just really powerful in my last year plus working with her in terms of really grounding myself in different leadership roles while we're also kind of juggling all of these different storms that we're in. Then we're going to kind of close officially the day, but there are opportunities, and you could see through the Hila app, to do further networking. And then tomorrow we're going to start back up again at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And today was really the who we are. Tomorrow is the what we do day. And so I hope for folks that were able to join us today. If there's pieces that you missed, we do have a lot of the material available that's recorded. There's also the text of the opening address that will be available. And so you have a chance between now and tomorrow to get caught up. And we really hope that you will join with us tomorrow, but also that you just take some time looking in that attendees function of the Hila app to just see the incredible 260 of you all from 4 different countries and 40 cities that have decided to dedicate this time of learning together, because there's such great opportunities for you to connect with each other one-on-one throughout these 2 days and beyond. Okay, so with that, I would love to pass it off to my friend and teacher, Rabbi Sheila Weinberg.
Thank you. Thank you, Ilana. And thank you, everyone. So, this is an opportunity to settle in a little bit. And this is called a mountain meditation. It was originally developed by John Kabat-Zinn. And I like to connect it to the psalm that says, you have made my mountain strong. He madata laharari oz. So I invite you, if you wish, to close your eyes. And you don't really need to, but close your eyes gently if you're okay with that. And just bring your attention to the flow of your breathing, feeling each in-breath and out-breath. Just observing your breathing without trying to change it in any way. Just allowing the body to be still. Sitting with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete. Maybe with a sense of safety, a sense of respect, a sense of equity. And let your posture reflect this wholeness. And as you sit here, picture in your mind's eye, if you will, as best as you can, the most beautiful mountain, the one you've seen or imagined. Just holding the image and the feeling of this mountain in your mind's eye, letting it gradually come into greater focus. Observing its overall shape, the lofty peak, high in the sky, the large base rooted in the rock of the Earth's crust, its steep or gently sloping sides. Notice how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful, both from afar and up close. Perhaps your mountain has snow on the top. Perhaps it has one prominent peak or several prominent peaks. Observing it, noting its qualities. And when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring the mountain into your own body. So that your body sitting here and the mountain in your mind's eye become one. You share in the massiveness and the stillness and the majesty of the mountain. You become the mountain. Rooted in the sitting posture, your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of the body and affording a panoramic vista. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain. Buttocks and legs, the solid base rooted down. Your spine, that sense of uplift. With each breath, as you continue sitting, become a little more a breathing mountain, unwavering in your stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, unmoving, rooted presence. As you sit here, becoming aware of the fact that as the sun travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors are changing virtually, moment by moment by moment. The mountain's granite stillness. Night follows day, and day follows night. The canopy of stars, the moon, then the sun. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all change. In summer, there is no snow on the mountain, except perhaps to the very peak or in crags, shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. Sometimes the mountain is surrounded by clouds or fog, sometimes pelted by freezing rain. People may come to the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it's not a good day to see the mountain, too cloudy. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like it or not. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by whether people see it or not, seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night. It just sits, being itself. Spring comes, birds sing, leaves return, flowers bloom, streams overflow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, what happens on the surface, the world of appearances. In the same way as we sit in meditation, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same unwavering stillness and rootedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives over seconds, over hours, over years. This may seem very idealistic or ambitious, but it is a hope, it is a prayer. Certainly experiences vary greatly in intensity and violence and pain and hurt. But we also want to find that place of stillness, that possibility of becoming the mountain, linking up with its strength and stability, and adopting them for our own, as individuals, as communities, as networks. We can use its energies to support our energy, to encounter each moment with mindfulness, with safety, respect, equity, clarity. The weather in our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. Far, far from it. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we also come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. Mountains have this to teach us, and much more if we come to listen. So we'll take just a moment of silence, if you can resonate in some way with the strength and stability of the mountain. Feeling the breath, thinking mind, the mind of sensations, sounds. And in your work, and in your awareness, and in your growth, and in your connection, and in your discernment and your growing wisdom, may you be sustained by the strength and stillness of the mountain.